Coming up today on Public Eye News, there's been a meth lab bust in Ishpeming, and Russia has begun testing their missiles.
Andre Victor has your weather, and Dan Kapanen has your sports. Hi, I'm Hannah Jensen.
And I'm Charlie Edwards. Welcome to Public Eye News. The City of Menominee Police Department are currently investigating the death of a 59-year-old female resident. The police were called to 938 44th Avenue yesterday at 10:24 a.m. for an unresponsive woman. She was pronounced dead at the scene. Yesterday, a meth lab was discovered in Ishpeming at a residence on East North Street. Meth, cash, and products used in the manufacture of the drug were seized from the residence. While only one suspect was questioned and released, other people were arrested and detained. The investigation remains ongoing.
And one man is dead in Escanaba after gunshots were heard. Escanaba Public Safety were called to South 14th Street Thursday morning on reports of a fatal gunshot wound. Officers found one man that sustained a gunshot wound to the head. Officers don't believe there was foul play, but the scene is still under investigation. An U-Haul moving truck was fully engulfed in flames Wednesday in a hotel parking lot in Marquette. The truck was full of household needs from a family that was in the process of moving to Ohio from Iron River. The truck was parked at the Days Inn. Thankfully, no one was injured in the fire, and the cause of that fire is still unknown.
An 83-year-old man who'd been trapped under a tractor wheel for 20 hours was finally rescued after being discovered by his grandson. The Huron County Sheriff's Office says the incident occurred Monday at a barn in Oliver Township when Edward Schember started a tractor that was already set in reverse. The tractor backed toward him and one of the wheels ran over his leg, trapping him. Schember was found Tuesday night after worried family members sent his grandson, Nicholas Schember, to check on him. Fire crews responded to the barn and freed Schember. When we say U-Paws is having another free event, we are not kidding you. This event will give people the opportunity to adopt a variety of pets, including dogs and cats. All fees will be paid for by the sponsors, Eagle Mine and Century 21. The event will be held at 5 p.m. at Century 21 in Marquette. And after the break, we'll be back with your national and international news. Stay tuned.
This week on Media Meet, a discussion of current affairs with former 9-term Upper Michigan Congressman Bart Stupak. I'm Bill Hart. Topics include gun violence, health care, tax reform, and the Sioux Locks. With me on the panel, Great Lakes Radio News Director Walt Lindola. Join us for Stupak on the Issues, this week on WNMU's Media Meet.
Welcome back. 2 women have been rescued after being stranded at sea for 5 months. The 2 women were sailing from Hawaii to Tahiti on a 50-foot sailboat when they got caught in some bad weather a month into their voyage. The storm damaged their 57-foot mast, flooded the boat, and crippled their engine. And every day for 98 days, they sent out distress calls with no luck. A foreign fishing vessel spotted their ship. From there, the women and their 2 dogs were rescued. And Tampa, Florida police hope that new surveillance video will lead them closer to identifying a possible serial killer. Police say the 3 victims were shot and killed just days apart. Now, home surveillance footage shows a person of interest running from one of 3 murder scenes. DeMarco Morgan has more from Tampa.
We believe that this person has ties to this neighborhood.
That person of interest is seen in this surveillance video running from the spot where Benjamin Mitchell was murdered. He was shot just seconds earlier.
I've come up with 4 reasons why this person is running. 1, they may be late for dinner. 2, they're out exercising. 3, they heard gunshots. And number 4, they just murdered Benjamin Mitchell.
In another video, before the murder, that same person is seen flipping a cell phone, an important clue for investigators.
The reason I focus in on the flip, because that might be a habit of this person.
The other 2 victims include 20-year-old Anthony Naboa and 32-year-old Monica Hoffa, all shot and killed within 10 days of each other in Tampa's Seminole Heights neighborhood. Police have been swarming the area, warning the community to keep vigilant.
We're stopping and talking to just about anybody who we see. It's a scary thing.
Tampa Mayor Bob Buckhorn is urging anyone withholding information to come forward.
All you're doing is protecting a killer. And that killer may take out one of your family members. So you decide which side you're on.
Police of Todos say it received 350 tips. There was a $35,000 reward for any information leading to an arrest. DeMarco Morgan, CBS News, Tampa.
In Russia, President Vladimir Putin took part in a majority of nuclear missile tests. The test involved 4 intercontinental ballistic missiles on Thursday. The test also included submarine strategic bombers and a land-based launcher. The test came just after Defense Secretary Jim Mattis was at the border of North and South Korea. This morning, historians and Kennedy assassination buffs are poring over some 2,000 just-released documents relating to the assassination of John F. Kennedy. The National Archives posted the documents last night, but bowing to appeals from the CIA and FBI, President Donald Trump blocked the release of 18,000 other documents. Nikki Batiste is in New York with some of the key findings finally being made public.
It's the day historians and conspiracy theorists have been waiting around 5 decades for. The National Archives released more than 2,800 records related to the JFK assassination. The government was required by a 1992 law to make them public.
So far, we're finding it's a picture of things that we already knew, some rumors, some innuendo.
Among the details printed in black and white, 25 minutes before Kennedy was shot, a London reporter had received an anonymous tip to call the U.S. Embassy, quote, for some big news. The FBI discussed Lee Harvey Oswald prior to the assassination. He was part of a pro-Fidel Castro group that was on its radar. The Cuban leader met with U.S. government officials and insisted neither he nor his government had anything to do with the president's death. Other details unsealed, the CIA discussed efforts to assassinate Castro and even forged ties with the mob to possibly help. And the FBI received a call at its Dallas office threatening Oswald's life the night before he was shot and killed by Jack Ruby. Nikki Batiste, CBS News.
The hat begins to move.
Letters written to a friend by To Kill a Mockingbird's Harper Lee has sold for some big bucks. 38 letters from the late novelist were auctioned off and sold for over $12,000 on Thursday. In one of the letters, Lee mentioned former President Lyndon B. Johnson and Gregory Peck, who played small-town attorneys in the movie Mockingbird. And entertainment kingpin Simon Cowell is home from the hospital after suffering from a fall in his London home on Friday morning. Cowell was taken from his home in a stretcher and neck brace. Reporters say the 58-year-old fainted and fell down his stairs. He now has a small concussion, but is doing better. And after the break, we will have your weather and sports. Stay tuned.
On the next edition of Native Report, we'll visit Little Bighorn Battlefield National Monument in Montana.
We'll meet artist Ben Pease and view his work of art that combine iconic celebrity images with Crow influences.
We'll learn about the historical importance of the buffalo for the Crow Nation in Montana. We also learn about what we can do to lead healthier lives and hear from our elders on this Native Report.
Saturday at 5 after Outdoor Wisconsin on Public TV 13.
And welcome back. I'm Andre Vigdier with a look at your local weather. As you can see from our rooftop cam behind me, pretty wet Friday out there with some seasonably cold temperatures. Right now we're seeing light rain showers with a temperature of 43 with winds out of the east at 23 miles per hour. Barometric pressure at 29.64 inches and falling. And looking at tonight, we're going to see some clouds with a low of 34 with winds south at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And tomorrow, more rain with a high of 39 and winds north at 18 miles per hour. And look around the UP right now, we're seeing some clouds from east to west. We're seeing 40 in Sault Ste. Marie, 45 in Manistee, 42 and cloudy in Escanaba, and 40 and cloudy in Menominee. Iron Mountain seeing 40 in clouds, 33 and some snowflakes over there in Ironwood. Houghton also seeing some more snow with 35. And back here in Marquette, we're seeing 43 in showers. And looking to your next few days here, on Sunday we're going to see a high of 45 with a low of 33 and mostly sunny. Monday with a high of 43 to low of 32 and rain. And Tuesday with a high of 45 and a low of 34 with some PM showers. Well, things are getting chilly out there right now. I hear basketball's heating up.
Yeah, yesterday we talked about Nava Eccles of the men's basketball team getting some preseason awards, and now we've got one of our women's basketball stars getting some preseason accolades as well. Junior Wildcat Darby Youngstrom of NMU basketball has been selected to the Great Lakes Intercollegiate Athletic Conference preseason All-GLIAC team. Yesterday's announcement comes after earning All-GLIAC second team and All-GLIAC defensive team. She led the team with 12.5 points a game, 6.6 rebounds a game, and 50% from the floor. The Wildcats will face Finlandia College in an exhibition game Saturday, which will mark the first time at the Berry for the 2017-2018 season. And we've got a great lineup of college football from our Michigan teams this weekend. The Michigan Wolverines will take on the Scarlet Knights of Rutgers this weekend. And Michigan now has 2 losses on the season, and after losing to both Michigan State and Penn State, have fallen out of the AP Top 25. Since taking over as coach in 2015, Jim Harbaugh has struggled against U of M's top rivals, and he still has the biggest games on the Wolverines' schedule on November 25th in Ohio State. Speaking of Michigan State, when Michigan State last visited Ryan Field in Evanston, Illinois, the Spartans were en route to a 13-1 season capped by a Big Ten Conference title. However sweet those memories may be, they are clouded by a more recent memory as the Wildcats defeated the Spartans 54-40 in 2016. Mike D'Antonio hopes this year's game can produce a crucial win for the Spartans, and after beating Michigan, they have plenty of confidence. And cameras caught Aaron Rodgers yelling at Minnesota Vikings linebacker Anthony Barr after the hit that broke the Green Bay quarterback's collarbone. But Rodgers said that that's only one side of the story. Rodgers said, quote, "I looked over at him as I walked off the field. The cameras caught me saying something to him, but what they missed was him giving me the finger and the suck it signal," end quote. On the day after the hit, an NFL source said the league was not aware of any gestures and was not looking into what Barr did after the play. An NFL spokesman did not immediately respond Friday when asked if the league would look into the matter now that someone has gone on the record with an accusation. Rodgers appeared on Conan during the Packers' bye week after he underwent surgery October 19th to repair his right clavicle. He needed 13 screws to repair that busted shoulder. Well, Hannah, I know as a Packers fan, I really hope we can get Rodgers back this season. But now that winter season is kind of coming up, I hear there's one Alaskan airport that's trying to keep some wildlife off their runway.
Yes, it was a blubbery scene earlier this week in Alaska. A 450-pound seal had to be removed from an Alaskan runway on Monday. The seal was removed via sled after workers found him just lounging around. Workers have seen caribou, polar bear, and even a muskox on the runway, but the seal sighting was a first. And tweets about Santa Claus have been retracted by the U.S. Air Force. The Air Force says that the tweets were not real. The tweets were part of the threat to steal Christmas from 2 feuding parties. But the Air Force did stress that they, along with others, tracked Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. Goodness, can you believe we are already talking about Christmas? We haven't even had Thanksgiving.
I know, it's crazy.
It is something else.
We still have yet to have Halloween.
Yes, yes we do. It's going to be a fun weekend.
True. Yeah, I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, true. Who's going to see Rocky Horror on Monday or Tuesday?
Oh, of course.
Yes.
How can you go through like one whole season and not see Rocky Horror Picture Show at least once?
That's an annual event.
You got to dress up in costume. You got to break out the, I don't want to say gold, but gold Speedo and just yell at the screen.
And that is all the time we have left today. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you here on Monday.
The preceding program was produced in studios located in the Edgar L. Hardin Learning Resources Center by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television.